Welcome to another live video. Always put yourself on notification. You'll be able to come across and check out all the live streams that I'm doing. So I'm going to wait for a few people to come in and we'll just talk about what we're going to be doing with this Traxxas 4Tec. Alrighty, so welcome. I'm going to come across and tell you guys what's going on. So primarily I'm going to be doing an upgrade on the Traxxas 4Tec. So primarily with the Traxxas 4Tec, I've been doing a few modifications as of right now, but I haven't been going a little bit too crazy as of yet because I've been acquiring a lot of other RC stuff. So that being said, once I ended up acquiring as many things as I can, I am going to be doing two types of setup for this RC. The first RC setup that I'm going to be doing is something I'm going to be talking about, and then something else that I have planned for this upgrade. Marco Polo, what's going on? And also I'm going to get input from a lot of the YouTubers out there. What would you like to see on this RC? Now, it's going to be two types of setups. One setup is going to be a specific drift vehicle. The second setup, I'm going to make this into a speed RC, and that's primarily what's going to be going. Milo and Nia. I always mess that up, man. 82, what's going on, bro? So that's primarily what I'm going to be doing with the two types of setups that I'm going to go with the Traxxas 4Tec. There's going to be two different types of setups. One's going to be a drift all-around RC that I'm going to keep in front of the house and stuff like that. Dark Knight, what's going on? And the other setup is going to be a speed vehicle. So that being said, I'm just going to wait a few more minutes for people to come in, and we could just talk about what this is going to transpire with the upgrades and updates. Joseph, what's going on? And if you like the content that you're checking out, come across and hit me with a thumbs up. Let me see. Joel, what's going on? So primarily what's going to happen is here are the two things. So this is a Traxxas 4Tec 2.0 Vxl. Primarily it does not come with the body, and I do have a concept for the body that I'm going to go setting this up with. So there's two types of setups that I'm going to go. I'm going to make this a drift vehicle where I'm going to be taking on the track, and I'm going to have all these type of decals. I ended up having to buy two sets because of the way I saw the picture. If you guys ever get the opportunity, go on Google search or something like that and type in Ford GT Race, and you'll be able to see these stickers on the type of RC. It's going to be a blue, red, and white theme for now that I'm doing on the RC. The next RC is going to, the next body I'm going to be doing is going to have a speed body, and the speed body that I'm doing, I'm going to come across and have it like a Grey Goose type thing. And a few YouTubers, one specifically, ended up coming across and wanting me to do a Grey Goose type setup to where it would just stick out from the crowd. And the reason why he saw that was because he ended up seeing the Grey Goose bottle that was that I ended up having when I was drinking one day and doing a live video stream. Once again, if you guys enjoy the content I'm doing, just give me a thumbs up, and always put me on your notification because it's going to be a lot of things I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be talking about the giveaways and everything that's happening today. So let's talk about the Traxxas 4Tec. Now the 4Tec is pretty much a similar platform that's happening with the LCG slash 4x4 or the Rally 4x4, but more slash, but the Rally came out first with their type of setup. Now when I ended up acquiring this RC, primarily I like the way the setup was. I never had a real true 1/10 scale RC like HPI produces and Vita and all those other companies. So this was Traxxas. I think this is the third version of the 4Tec that has been out. So that being said, when I ended up acquiring this, I was gonna buy the first GT version but I wasn't too fond of having the brush system. And then when I found out the chassis edition was going to come across and be in the fold for that, then I ended up acquiring it. Special thanks to Willis Hobbies that was able to get me this RC pretty much day one. So special thanks to the guys out there in Willis Hobbies that was able to assist me once I needed to get the chassis. So that being said, what have I done? Well, as you can see, if you're looking at a little bit of the Sharpies, you're going to notice that everything has its own little scheme. All of this is going to be black. It's going to be bled into white. The top is going to be red. And then this top is going to be blue. The over here is going to be white, and I believe it's going to be white coming into the back. It's going to be a very extensive paint job that I'm going to do with this RC, but there's a lot of things that have to go into it. That will be my show body. I will have a run body. I believe it's a 210 millimeter type body for speed runs, but that I'll go into later. Once I start doing into the speed runs, all the wheels will be changed into the contact foam tires, and also I'm going to get extensions on the rear for me to come across and give bigger tires at the end. So let's crack open the lid and we can talk about a few things. This does come in 3 parts. So this is the first part, which is kind of weird. I've never seen Traxxas do this before. And then here's the back part. I did get the LEDs for it, so you guys be able to see that. And as you look closer, you'll notice that I spelt that black over there, and you'll see all the, you know, over here on the side it says red. So a lot of things are going to be going with the paint job. I wanted to do the paint job today, but as luck would have it, I ended up having to see snow outside. So I'll be driving my pickup truck, my Toyota Tundra Rock Warrior, which I love a lot. So that's primarily what I'm going to be doing as of right now. So let's talk about what I've installed into this RC and what's going to be installed, and what are your recommendations for me to get into this RC. So the RC has a full RC screw kit from RC Screws. Also, I ended up throwing, now this is something that I would tell you to buy. This is my personal opinion, and I think it's one of the nicest things that has come out for a while. So as you're gonna look over here, you're gonna see like this silver piece, and you'll notice stainless steel screws. Those in actuality are mounts. So a big complaint that everybody has had throughout the years is when they do change out the stainless steel screws, they still have those original Traxxas mounted screws, and they're putting in washers and everything like that, trying to put the stainless steel in ones to not have that rust out. But there is a company that has kind of solved that issue, and the name of the company is Full Force RC, and these are the blue ones. These I'm going to install into the Summit, my police Summit. So this is from Full Force RC. It's called the servo clamps. Comes in 6 pieces, which is pretty cool. You should be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 RCs. Is it 3 RCs? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 RCs or 2 big RCs. Like this is going to be handling a lot of my other ones. Like I would have to use 4 for the Summit. So that's primarily it. Definitely something I would tell you to get. Full Force RC. Part number FF023B, and this is in blue. I have the silver ones in this because I'm going to go with a different theme that I'm going to be doing. So that being said, I'm going to go across and see who's in the room and what's happening there. Joseph, what's going on? Joel with the Mini Z. I'm going to try to head up to the Mini Z shop. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to go there. Echo Van Herpe. Hey, what's up? Brandon Miller, what's going on? Florida Basin, what's going on? RC Steven, what's going on? Joseph, what's going on to be badass? Hopefully so. So, I'm going to be talking about this RC, but what is your opinion of what you would like for me to get to this RC? Now, what I've been thinking is, do I like the 4Tec so far? I haven't driven it. Look at those wheels. It has not hit asphalt. Do I like it? I'm not too sure yet. I don't know how it drives. Once I get the body done, then I'll be able to drive it and everything like that. These are the things that I want to do with the RC, and these are the things that, you know, I would like you to recommend for me to put for the RC. So first things. The first thing I know a lot of people are going to want me to do is change the motor and ESC, and I'm in the process of doing that. But I definitely want to see what it's like to drive this on the Vxl 3S system. So hopefully Once I drive it there, maybe I like it, maybe I'll keep it there. You know, if I make this a speed demon, you know I have to go at least to 6 cells. So that's going to be on a future upgrade. Things that I have to do with it. If you get the chassis version, you do get the links, but I do want to change out a few things. I know there's a few companies out there like let me see, Hot Racing, GPM, and other companies that are out there that are producing aluminum parts for this RC already. So I do want to change a lot of these parts to having just more aluminum. Am I going to go with Hot Racing? I'm not too sure. I was kind of hoping that Integy would have came out with their part selection yet, because they come across with really cool colors. And I know GPM, but GPM is kind of hard to get their products immediately. And they're pretty creative on the stuff that they do with their RCs, but that's something on future endeavors, having this updated. Things that I want to change out. I do want to get the upgraded shocks. I do want to change out the pinion and the spur. I do want to change out the servo. The servo, I think, is going to be the first thing I'm going to be changing out. It's probably going to be a brushless servo. I think they could run around $125 or something like that. But that's going to be one of the first things that I change out. Traxxas is coming out with their aluminum upgrade kit for this. Do I want to go with that? Depending. I saw the upgrades that they have for it. There's a few things that I wish they put on there, but maybe not enough for me to totally go with the Traxxas setup. So judging by what I'm looking at right now, it looks like it's probably going to be a full Hot Racing upgrade setup if Traxxas doesn't release their stuff by at least the beginning of January. The only other RC that I have a full Hot Racing setup would be for my boat, my M41. So that's going to have to be changed out. The body that I'm utilizing for my speed runs will be a protoform body. All these parts will be changed out to aluminum, and that's primarily it. Like I said, this thing hasn't hit asphalt, as you can see. You know, nothing has touched this. I've been very busy working. So this is your opportunity to give me a few questions about a few things. The Nerdy Kid, what's going on? What do I like about it? It looks scale. What would you do different to upgrade it? Oh, well, different as opposed to what other people have done on the YouTube community, because I see a lot of guys out there right now fully modding this before I even modded it. I had this for a while, but they're doing their own modifications on this RC. I saw a YouTube channel that has a mount to where you're able to put the links right here, and he ended up going with the contact tires to have a bigger rear and stuff like that. So that's something that I would do. And just my own take on the type of RC that I would do this. Now, there's a track called 360 in New York, and they just started putting these type of RCs on a professional track, and they've been doing pretty good. So most likely the drive shafts also I have to change out on this and see what's going on with the near future. Now, here's the thing that I'll ask you guys right now. We've already touched on the subject of the 4Tec. Now, just like before, if you end up being on my notification squad, we'll be doing things differently than what's initially on the title. A lot of people check out the title and say, you know what, I don't want to see I don't want to see a 4Tec. You know, they want to see something else. So that being said, is there another RC besides the 4Tec that you want me to talk about? Yes, this will be, David Lee, this would be a Mod 1 setup. All right, Marco Polo wants to see the Merv. All right, so give me 1 second and I will go get the Merv. If you guys don't know what that is the mini E-Revo. Alrighty. So you guys are familiar with this RC. This is my mini E-Revo. I've just recently acquired a whole bunch of parts that are green that are going to be upgraded into this RC. It's going to be happening very, very, very soon. As you can see, it's fully greened, RPM'd out. I have green wheel nuts. I got an Integy wheelie bar, carbon fiber wing. I do have Dusty motor shroud to match up with the whole RC. Proline tires. These are the trenchers. And like I said, this thing is fully RPM'd out with an RC screw kit. This is the Mini E-Revo Vxl brushless edition. So this is my Mini E-Revo for you guys to check out. Michael says Mamba Monster. I'm not too sure what you're referring to. Are you talking about the Rustler? Why do you think there's going to be a 1/5 scale Traxxas slash? The reason why I believe that is because a newsletter ended up coming out that was sent to the dealers, and it was kind of snuck in, and then they retracted it. So that's why I believe. That's why I believe it would be out there. So trust me, when I get this information, it just doesn't come across and fantasies and stuff like that. So I'll take the Merv away, and we'll come across and go with good old faithful. Oh boy. Now this RC is a favorite to a lot of people in the RC community. As you can't even see this, but there is like a whole bunch of dust here. So this is my Rustler Mamba Monster. Let me pull back the camera for you guys to get a better visual of that. Okay, is there a full aluminum chassis parts for the 4Tec? Not as of yet, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a company that's going to make that. Did you get the X-Maxx fixed yet? Well, hold on. I'll show you right now. Bear with me 1 second. What does it look like to you? Look at that poor X-Maxx. Suffering. You guys can see a few things on just when I pull off, when I have to walk around and pull off RCs for you guys to check out. So that's primarily it, you know. And the hobby room is a mess, so I have to go take care of that as soon as possible. Give you a little inside thing on my my hobby room. Yeah, the X-Maxx. And the problem is that there's snow outside, and these are the things. Now, mind you, like I said, I have a whole bunch of parts that I have to do. So look, I have the broken shocks that are there, so I bought that. My broken wheelie bar, so I bought that. And then I have the broken turnbuckles. This is it. Steering blocks. I got that. What else is in here? And also a few other things that I have to install into my X-Maxx. So I already have all the parts that I need to fix my X-Maxx. The thing is that I've been so preoccupied with other RCs that I have not done anything with it. So that being said, and a lot of guys who have never really seen my RCs, I'll give you a quick tour of what my Rustler looks like, because a lot of people are very interested on that type of creation that I've done. And also, if you guys, I'm going to be creating a brand new body. It's going to be exactly like this one, and I'm probably going to sell it, you know, and I will not sell it at a high cost. I will just put it on eBay for a bid war, and it's going to be exactly like this one. I will not sell this one because this one has a special meaning throughout the years, and maybe if I can find those, you'll be able to get the Rustler 100-mile-per-hour Mamba Monster sticker on there, dedicated to Draven 3907 Ace. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of aces on that, so I'm probably going to be doing that very soon. I mean, even if the thing goes for $10, it's going to be a bid war. So that's primarily it, and I'll come across, put a Geo Stealth R1 decal on there, and you guys can come across and fight for that. So I'll talk about my Rustler Mamba Monster. I mean, I've spoken about this RC throughout the years. This is a 1/10 scale Rustler with a 1/8 scale 2200 kV motor with the original Mamba Monster ESC installed in there. The reason why I still run the original Mamba Monster ESC is because they run less hot than the Mamba Monster X and also the Mamba Monster 2. The only problem with it is not water resistant, so there's the con, but you want your ESC to be running a lot cooler. As you can see, I have an external 10 amp BEC. It's set up for my servo. The servo is a Spectrum servo. I think it's a 9060. I'm not too sure. As you can see, I did wire meshing all over this place. Now, once I stopped riding this RC, I ended up customizing a whole bunch of other things that I wanted to throw on there, which is, you know, aluminum parts. This used to be a silver aluminum part. Now it's orange, orange for the flag, for the fan. More orange aluminum parts. Wow, I forgot how heavy this is. As in the bulkhead, and a whole bunch of other things. Orange nuts. Now, most of the orange aluminum parts that I have in here is from Intergy. The aluminum 17 millimeter is from a company called Extreme Racing, and I believe it starts with an X. A lot of people are very interested in finding out where to get RPM orange parts. You cannot find them, my friend. Nowhere. So that's what you're looking at when you're doing that. As you can see, I'm using the Traxxas Velocity stainless steel drive shafts. I have a T-Bone Racing bumper in the front, T-Bone Racing bumper in the rear. I do have my 1 pound something of weight in the front to keep this bad boy down. I'm also running titanium links, Lunsford titanium links over there as well. I do have Venom 50C batteries that are installed over here at 5000 mAh lipos, 3 cells, so I'm running 6 cell over here. Also the telemetry Spectrum receiver that's over there, and my DX3R Pro controls that. Stainless steel screws all over the place, and right now the wheels that you're looking at is the GRP, and they are the S4s. So I think I gave this a quick rundown of primarily what I've done throughout this. RC King. Cool, man. I'll definitely check you out later, man. Oh, you're in school. Get to school. Need to rebuild my Rustler. All right. Next RC you would like for me to talk about and the upgrades that I've done to it. What will it be? Like I said, you know, usually when I do this type of... Now, there are upgrades that are up there on the Rustler shelf that I have not put onto this RC, you know, so I still have to do upgrades, you know, even though I don't drive this thing anymore. You know, I definitely still have to do upgrades onto the Rustler just to complete the whole thing. I was thinking about throwing the foam tires from BSR on this just to give it, you know, an updated feel, but we'll see what's going on with that. Your Mini Yeti RC. Well, I have not done anything to the Mini Yeti RC since I've acquired it, except throwing a servo. Let me see. And here's my Mini Yeti RC right here. I ended up throwing a high-tech servo onto this RC. I ended up putting as much stainless steel screws as I could. I wanted to go brushless with this unit. You're definitely putting oil fill shocks into this. What's another upgrade that I'm going to be doing to this thing? Oh, the lights. I am going to be throwing on these lights. And these lights are from a pretty cool company that I've been checking out as of late. Apex RC Products. Definitely check them out. It's a pretty cool light for you to install onto like a Mini Yeti. I've been trying to figure out where I want to install this. Either I was going to put it on top to have it there. I don't know if that's as custom as people would want me to do. It does point down, but when it flips, it will probably scratch the top. Also, I was thinking about putting it down here. Even if the Yeti flips, at least it's still protected a little bit from the top of it. And also, you can connect this directly into your receiver. That's where you get your power from. Right here. And also here's my toggle switch to go off and on. So that will be the next upgrade. Now Hot Racing has come out with a boatload of things for the Yeti, for the Mini Yeti. a boatload. When I tell you, Hot Racing has come out with, I don't even know how they got the production out that quickly, but they ended up throwing a lot of updates and upgrades for their Mini Yeti. And Axial doesn't even have the amount of upgrades that Hot Racing has for this RC. So that will be the next upgrade I'm going to do for the Yeti. And if you're ever interested, I'll have a link in below where you can find that light for the Mini Yeti. So I'll come across and show you an RC that I need to do as of late. Oh, just give you a quick update if you guys have been checking out a few things. So you guys were not able to see the bodies for the Mini Zs out there right now. And this will be for my brush system right here, fully modded out Mini Z car. And also I'm still trying to do the modifications for the brushless Mini Z. So that's going to be happening very, very soon. I was building up yesterday, ended up throwing some rims, some tires, wheel nuts, battery holders. I started changing out a few of the screws already, so that's going to take a little bit of time, but definitely worth it, you know, to do that. Anyway, any other questions? To the whole 19 people that are watching. Oh, here's one thing that people have been wanting me to present to you as of late. Somebody asked me recently, would I sell an RC? Now, 99% of my RCs have a special place in my heart. But there is one RC that I wanted to complete. Well, it's completed. But the problem is that I never got to complete it. So in actuality, it's two of them. So I'll come across and show you which two is going to happen. Now, I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with this RC, but I've never completed the project. And it's kind of annoying to me because this is kind of a cool project, but I never got into it as I should have. This is my Axial Yeti XL. I have not completed this project. As you can see, I ended up throwing the 17 millimeters on this. Also, the sway bar kit should be installed into this thing. Yeah, it's right there. The Hot Racing sway bar. Proline trenchers, plus I ended up throwing another Proline trencher in the back. Ended up putting carbon fiber red on the top. T-Bone Racing front, rear, and chassis. Let me give you a heads up. This thing has never, another RC that has never seen asphalt. And I just had it there. I bought it. And if you guys ever get the opportunity, it was a pretty funny video that I did for this guy, Coyote. I ended up saying he donated it to me, but it was a pretty much big lie that I ended up doing. But this is probably going to be an RC that I'm going to be getting rid of because I've never used it. You know, a brand new RC, it's never been touched, and there's no reason for me to have that there. So, next, Fox RC Racing, get back to school. Rock Bud. Oh, Rock Bud, what's going on? Another YouTube channel that I enjoy to watch is Rock Bud 43. I love all his customized videos and stuff like that. Definitely check out his channel. He has a lot of cool things on there. So, let me see. All right. Next RC that has never really done anything, and I've never done anything with it. I want to drive it, but I've never driven it, which was terrible on my end. And I'll talk about all the upgrades that I've done to this RC since I've acquired it, since it's been out. The Axial Yeti 1/10 scale. So let me give you a heads up of what has happened. Now, mind you, I do have the body, the clear body for this RC, and I'll come across and give you what's into the RC right now. Let's start off with the exterior. 2.2 Proline rims on Super Swamper Proline tires. T-bone front bumper, rear bumper, arm protector, and chassis protector. Also, fully RC screw kit out. Also, 1/8 scale Sidewinder 8 system with, let me see, what is this? Robinson Racing Spur, Robinson Racing Opinion. Also, the waterproof Savox servo that's installed in there. Fully axial upgrade out from all the brown that you see between this shock tower, the links, everything fully done on this RC, which I've never got to enjoy. And it's terrible because there are RCs that I love to play with, and I think I was more discouraged when Axial came out a little bit later with their Yeti XL. That's why I acquired the Yeti XL later, after throwing in probably $800 into this RC, which was kind of terrible on my end. You know, there's a lot of other upgrades that I haven't put on this, like I said, the body and stuff like that, which is probably up there somewhere. You know, but fully modified. Oh, MIP drive shaft, and as you can see from the underneath, it has nothing. RPM arms in the front. Oh, and and Vanquish. A lot of Vanquish products. The links, the steering. Yeah, there's a lot of Vanquish in this RC, so you already know there's been money thrown into this RC. So, yep, another RC I've never played with. And the sad thing is that, you know, it's cool to have it in my arsenal, but if I'm not going to utilize it, it's not good for me to have, because it just takes up space, and I want to have RCs that I can use. There's one RC that I will never use. It would be my Gravedigger. Other than that, I want to use every one of my RCs that are over there. So, let me see. Slash Raptor 93 should be working on the X-Maxx right now while being live. You know, I should. I should. But the thing is that my camera, I don't think would be able to fit the whole X-Maxx over here, and I would have to get this. Let me see if I could do that. Maybe I'll be able to get you guys. I don't even think it will fit. I've never worked on the X-Maxx on this type of table before. So, and plus there are a lot of things for the X-Maxx that have been damaged in the time. Let me move the Mini Z's. Put you guys up here. Yeah, this X-Maxx is not fitting on this thing. You're crazy. It's not gonna fit. Okay, hold on. Randy Thomas says, "What's up, Gio? Where's my goose chase?" We were just talking about it, man. We just had this whole conversation about I had this over there, and I was talking about the two type of bodies that I'm going to be utilizing for that. I'm going to be utilizing one type of body, which is going to be a race body, and then the other type of body, which is going to be a protoform body, which is going to be considered the Grey Goose vehicle. So, you missed out, man. Notification, buddy. Notification. All right, who else is in there? Used thongs, nice. Rockbud, I fell in love with the black and orange because of you, bro. Oh, dude, I've seen a lot of your black and orange creations, and they've been off the hook, you know, throughout the years that I've been checking out your channel. So, you know, like I said, definitely check out Rockbud43. His customizations on his take of what he does in customizing RCs is off the hook. Now, one of the main things that I've always wanted to express to a lot of people is, you know, especially in the speedrun game, when you're doing speedruns, you want to have a car that's really, really fast, but also you want a car that really looks good, you know? So, oh, yeah, well, you definitely, you can watch the rewind on that one. Let me see. Nader, do you have a Traxxas X-Maxx, and do you know where I can get an unbreakable body? There's a guy on eBay that sells the bulletproof bodies. That would be your best way to go with that. Let me see how much I'll buy it. Fox Officer Racing, I'm about to go to class. Rockbud, I'll buy it. School out for Christmas, so I'm here. Jumpstart RC. Oh, thank you for joining. So yeah, so that's, you know, to be honest with you, out of the 3 series of Yetis, the only one that I enjoyed like really, really a lot that I did not come across an upgrade was the Yeti Junior. And with all the upgrades that are happening to it, you know, I really wanted to invest a lot of money into the Yeti Junior, but I've already invested so much money into the Yeti 110 scale that, you know, I kind of got discouraged with that. I think the next RC that I'm looking at right now is the Traxxas, the Axial SCX-10-2, which a lot of people are telling me to acquire. Rockbud, means a lot coming for you, brother. Always, man, you the best. Rashad McDowell, I got a Stampede 2-wheel drive. What gear do you feel makes it faster? Well, let's bring out my Stampede 2-wheel drive and we'll talk about that. Okay. And we'll talk about all the upgrades that I've done to this. People are very interested in finding out about this RC. Alrighty. Traxxas Gravedigger 30th Anniversary VXL. Also, I have the regular Gravedigger body, so don't get discouraged. I do have the original body for this as well. Now, let me give you a little bit of history of this RC. This RC was originally a Stampede 2-wheel drive. When I ended up acquiring it, off of my stepson. He had a Stampede 2-wheel drive. He drove it. He broke it. I had to repair it. He drove it. He broke it. I repaired it. I said, look, man. I was like, I'll give you the money. Just we'll buy you a Rustler, and I'll just take the Stampede 2-wheel drive off your hands. Now, if you ever watch my videos, one of my first videos, I believe it's with a New York Giants Stampede 2-wheel drive, and that was the RC that was changed into this. The original 2 RCs on my channel were the Stampede 2-wheel drive and the Rustler. So that's, you know, a little bit of history lesson for you guys and stuff like that. So now I'll come across and tell you what I've upgraded on my Stampede and what you can do to make your Stampede a lot faster. Alright, so let's start off with the top. Let me take off the body. This is the 30th Anniversary Bad to the Bone Gravedigger body, which has LED fronts and LEDs on the side for the eyes to light up red, which is definitely a cool feature. And yeah, pretty cool, as you can see, pristine condition. And I see guys selling this for $300 on eBay, which is insane. Anyway, let's... Oh, there's a few... Look, when I tell you there are upgrades that I have to do with these RCs, I'm going to show you this. Watch this. This is going to be amazing for you. And there are always upgrades that I have not installed into this RC that I should have, you know, a while ago. So I'll start off with the first one. This is the telemetry expander. Since I'm never going to drive this thing, this would give me the telemetry expander right here to where I'll be able to throw the telemetry block right there. This part number is 6557. I've never installed that into the Gravedigger, which is sad. You know, the Gravedigger should have had this. Next one is the RPM bulkhead, which is another green part that I had into for this to be installed. Part number is 73754. Now, I was going to install this into the Gravedigger. I have not yet. Like I said, so many projects are happening. As you can see, I have the Integy bulkhead that's over there already, and I would change that out to the green RPM part. The last thing I've always wanted to do is change out the servo to make this a complete RC, but I've never done that. So I'm going to work from top to bottom, give you guys a heads up of what type of upgrades that I've done to this RC, and we'll take it from there. Alright, if you're going to notice the roll cage is from VG Racing. They're an excellent roll cage company. Their pretty much fulfillment onto their RCs are impeccable. Something interesting for you to acquire for your RC would be totally awesome for you to get that. This thing is fully RPM'd out green. If you're going to notice all the green RPM parts, even the links have all green RPM parts. The shock covers are from Bad Horsey. Check them out at badhorsey.com. Also, you're going to notice I have Proline shocks. These are the progressive shocks that I have available onto there. ProlineRacing.com. I have a Venom battery cage. This is a VXL system. It ended up changing I ended up staying in a VXL system with the fan over there. As you can see, I'm doing wire mesh all over the place with this RC setup. And people always ask me about this flag. I believe it's a 4x4 size flag you can buy on eBay. I bought like 3 or 4 of them, but this pretty much signifies that, you know, this is my grave digger. And a few other things. I think that's it. And MIP drive shaft, RPM, gear cover, transmission case, whole bunch of other things for this RC. Now, what gear ratio should I go with? I believe I'm at with this one, 76, maybe 14 or 76, 15. The reason is because the way this RC is set up, especially if you're utilizing the Proline wheels, like the Proline trenchers and stuff like that, it creates a lot of heat for the RC itself. You want something that has a lot of speed, but once you start getting into all the torque is just gonna have you do this all the time, which you're gonna be very annoyed when you start pumping wheelies, because it just gets annoying, you know. The only problem I've ever had with this RC is that it does flip around a lot when I used to drive it all the time. Now I do have my show body and my run body that's over there and stuff like that. So those are the things you need to look out for. You don't want your temperatures to be like soaring, because that will be a terrible thing for you to go through when it comes down for that. So that's a quick presentation on the Stampede 2-wheel drive and all the goodies that I have in there. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting a few things that I've installed into this, you know, but pretty much that's the way it goes. Let me put you back. And like I said, there's so many upgrades and updates that I have not done with these RCs that I need to do videos on sooner than later. So hopefully sooner than later. All right, so let's go talk here what's going on here. Slash Raptor, the SCX2 is a good truck, I hear. Yeah, you know, they said a lot of good things on it. Jumpstart RC, Go Mod 1 on the Erevo. Go Mod 1 on it. Revo Spurs work. Nolan 320. I can't wait till I get an E-Revo. I have a Bandit VXL, but now I want to upgrade. Stampede Truggy. Make a Stampede Truggy. Steve McShane. Geo man, thanks for all the videos. I'm hooked on the hobby now. Alright, so since we're talking about bandits, let's talk about another bandit that I have over here. Which there are upgrades that I have to do with this bandit as well. You know what? I'm going to come across and talk about, before I get to the bandit, I'm going to talk about another RC that I just stopped upgrading for no apparent reason, and which I should have upgraded, which I have not. So I'll just come across, I'll put the motor in ESC that I have to put into this RC, but I'll show you the RC itself. You guys are pretty familiar with this RC because I have a little version of it as well. This is the PlayStation 4 Rally. A lot of people like this RC because the way I set up the paint scheme. I painted this myself. I ended up doing the cutouts by myself. I ended up putting the top part onto this, which is a pretty cool feature with the PlayStation logo, the square XO, and the triangle over there, and I put that all around. This was a pretty cool RC when I started upgrading this, and as you can see, the dust that's on there. So anyway, I'll come across, talk about the internal parts of this and what I'm planning to do with it. So I have Castle Creations in there, the motor, the ESC, and the servo was pulled out of the Yeti 110 scale, and I put it into this, which I shouldn't have, but I do have a motor, an ESC, and servo available to throw into this RC. This is fully RC screw kit out. I have the aluminum taken off my Slash 4x4 when I had the Slash 4x4 Platinum. So it's blue aluminum front and rear for the hub carriers, steering knuckles, and stuff like that. Also, I have RC screw kit out, Proline shocks front and rear, And everything else is RC screwed, RPM for this RC. I've never driven it. As you can see, you're gonna notice on these tires, pretty much, I don't even know if you can see it. There you go. This thing was a side project of mine when I ended up throwing out I'm trying to remember what it was, the Sidewinder 8, and I ended up taking that out and setting that up for the Yeti. I have to put my Dusty Motor shrouds back on this, and I have to put this motor and ESC in there, and I have T-Bone Racing front and rear bumpers. It would be awesome if I ever put it in there. The last things that I wanted to do on this RC was for my steering, make it aluminum, and my drive shafts, I wanted for it to be aluminum, stainless steel as well. So that's the top of the RC. So as you can see how my paint job ended up coming across. Now these are not decals, just to give you a heads up. These are not decals. These are painted underneath. And when I painted it underneath, I ended up having it done like that. So just a little bit heads up of how I do my painting and stuff, you know, as close on the back. Let me see if you can see on the back. There you go. PlayStation, and there's my license plate from Japan, GeoStealth R1. I'm sure a lot of guys haven't seen that. So that was my take on setting up the Rally, aka the Slash 4x4 LCG. And that was the upgrade that I did on there. And its baby brother, which you guys have seen in the latest video, was the PlayStation Vita, which I ended up doing a Dusty Motor shroud on there as well. And there was the body that I ended up doing there for my PlayStation Vita. And you can see on this license plate, you'll see right there, it will say GeoStealth right there. So there's the PlayStation Vita, and that's Traxxas, a secondary company to Traxxas, www.latrax.com. Definitely cool RC to complement the PlayStation 4. I made the PlayStation Vita. Let me see what's up with your Q&As. Rashad, my truck is for street racing only. I have to lower and put in the sweep racing tires. I have to get it geared right. Yeah, definitely. Nolan, can you do a size comparison between the Bandit and the E-Revo? The mini E-Revo or the big E-Revo? That's a good question. Joseph, awesome. Marco Polo, I love the PlayStation 4 Rally, bro. Oh, thank you very much, Josh. Rashad, looks sweet looking. Joseph says, I love the paint job. Sammy, what happened to your X-Maxx? My X-Maxx has a boo-boo. Let me see if I can bring this onto the screen. Oh, you're going to make me carry this beast. Alright. Okay. Alright. Here's the big-ass Dusty Motor shroud. Here's the shock that ended up exploding when I did when I crashed directly into a tree. Let's get this bad boy here. Yeah. Alright. Now, if there's ever an RC you need to buy, it is the Traxxas X-Maxx, which in theory this thing doesn't even fit on my table. Just wanted to give you the magnitude of how big this thing is. Okay, so that's the size comparison. There's a few things that are rusted out on this that I have to take care of. Once I do take care of that, then I'll be able to get everything going. I have to change these Proline Badlands to stainless steel. If you guys never think I drive my RCs, this is definitely a cool example of me driving it. I have to totally clean this RC. There's a tremendous amount of rust, and all the components that I told you I broke, I have to put back in. So that's what you're looking at right there. My broken X-Maxx. I should get this repaired immediately since it's about to snow. And maybe I could do a quick video with you guys. Oh boy. I don't know how these guys deal with the 1/5 scale gas powered RCs. You're crazy. I guess you have a garage. Oh boy. There we go. Put you back up there. Back on your stand. Life is good. Alright, where are we? Size comparison between the Bandit and the E-Revo. Well, that might be bad. I'll tell you why. Alright. So here's my Bandit. There you go. There's the Bandit. And as you can see, it takes up a lot of the table. I'll even go over the details of all the upgrades that I've done with the Bandit. What gear and some of jumbo cons I'm doing. I believe I changed out the Mamba Monster system and the Jumbo Kong ones, and I ended up going with the stock gearing setup for that. The only problems that I have with the Jumbo Kongs being on there is because I ended up throwing the Traxxas steel drive shafts, and because I have those Jumbo Kongs set up there, they keep popping out, so I haven't even driven that. I was very annoyed. I ended up buying new boots for them, and I tore up the boots on that too. So here is the Traxxas Bandit. Biggest complaint that I ever get about this is the blue. People want me to get red, so I got to do that very soon. This is not my original Bandit. There was an original Bandit that I had, was my Bandit VXL Snow Edition, and somebody wanted it so bad that they bought it for me. And I said, you know what, I love that RC so much and I love the body so much that I'm going to come across and buy it. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video, but I do have the Dusty Motor shroud on it somewhere in the back, hiding, as you can see. Shock covers, NTG skis, aluminum parts from Traxxas that are red, NTG bulkhead, NTG steering, shock covers from badhorsey.com, RPM, what is this? RPM cover. I never bought the red RPM transmission case, which was my biggest regret. Biggest regret I've ever did, but you know, I have my RPM rear protector on there. So let me come across and try to do a size comparison between this and the bigger Erevo. And keep throwing in your questions because I'll try to answer as much as I can. Alright, where are you? Alright, here you go. Now, this is probably not going to fit on the table, but we're going to try it anyway. Here we go. This is the size comparison between the two. If that can give you any type of... And that's literally right on top of it. So hopefully that gives you some type of size comparison of what you're dealing with in both the Erevo and the Bandit. Now let's go to a few questions. Warhawk Legend 69. Fitting to go to see Star Wars, bro. I hope you have a good... Okay, now, spoiler alert, bro. I saw Star Wars. I saw it at 9:40 this morning. I saw Star Wars. I am not going to tell you anything. All I'm going to say is that whatever you thought, it's totally different. It's a lot of action. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Wild things that happens. Excited to get that super monster. Let me see. Walk Legend. Yeah, okay, cool. Walk Legend. Enjoy the movie. What's up, player? What's going on? Tinsley Smith, another cool YouTube channel that I check out a lot of times. Definitely go check them out. What's going on, my brother? Everything's well, my friend. Brett Ludwig. When are you going to do the next Hotness and Busted? I need people to start checking out the Hotness and Busted series. There's 27 segments of Hotness and Busted. Once you do that, you'll get the information of sending your pictures to geoselfr1@yahoo.com. Send 3 pictures of your RCs so I can showcase that for the next Hotness and Busted. I need at least 10 people for the next Hotness and Busted to happen. So get your RCs, take cool pictures of your RCs with the body, without the body. I need at least 3 of them, okay, to do a segment, and then you'll be able to showcase your YouTube channel. Joseph says, take it out to snow today, do some footage. It'll be pretty cool. I'm hoping to. If you ever get to check out my Dusty Motor Shroud video, you'll be able to see the snow thrashing on there. Michael, what gearing? Did you go with your Summit Jumbo Kongs? I already answered that. Nicholas, my Slash 2-wheel drive high center of gravity hit 121 with the high center of gravity on. Wow. Hey GOU SMRT. Don't know what that means. Okay. I saw that one. It's badass. All right, cool. So I'm gonna remove the E-Revo. All right. And here goes the Bandit. Now, last thing I'm going to talk to you about is what's going to be happening with the channel as of late for 2018. 2018 is going to be presenting a lot of things, a lot of new RCs, plus a new logo that I'm going to be doing. Cheers, man. The logo that I'm going to be doing is going to be a little bit different than a lot of people that have done their logos beforehand. I'm trying to get a few professional people to do that, of my conception of what I want to do. But it's going to incorporate, the minute you see that, people are going to say, oh snap, you're doing RCs. So because people check out the channel and they see GeoStealth R1, but they have no idea what it's about. You know, they see GeoStealth R1, they're thinking, oh snap, you ride motorcycles. And that's primarily the way it goes. They see that and they know I'm riding motorcycles, but other than that, they need to figure out a few other things that they're doing. So sooner or later, the logo is going to come out, and then we're going to be checking that few things out and setting that up hopefully sooner than later. I'm going to be presenting a brand new body for my SCX10. That's why I brought it out here right now. That should be happening next segment. I have two conceptual things that I want to do with the SCX10 body. It's going to be either one of two things. It's going to be either A, which I think is kind of... Personally, I don't want to do it, but somebody told me to do it. Getting a whole bunch of baggies, filling them up with oregano, and making this a cannabis Jeep. Another person suggested me making this a whole bunch of minions that are hanging out in the background and having Gru drive it. Somebody else suggested a few other things were suggested for me to do with the SCX10. But I think the SCX10 has fallen off because the 2 is out, so people have forgotten about the 1. But yet, you know, I've noticed a lot of people still buying the Deadbolt and stuff like that, so that's going to be happening in the near future. Also, people want me to present the TRX4. Very soon, I will just present the TRX4 with a run video. I think that's a personal RC that I like more than, you know, than just doing the normal with that RC. So we'll see what happens on that aspect. All right, so any other questions before I go? We are about to hit the 1 hour mark. All right, once you start throwing those questions, I want to show you a few things. Company called Apex RC products. I'm going to be showcasing these LED lights in the next series of videos that I'm going to be doing. They're not going to be live videos. They're just going to be showcasing the lights. Definitely a good Christmas item to do, to get for anybody who's in the RC game. Now, that being said, these are some of the lights that they're utilizing on there, which this is a pretty cool light setup. This in actuality fits on any of your Jeeps. Same type of size. Pretty cool light setup, and it connects directly to your receiver. You don't have to put any other light packs on there. It does come with the mounts, and it does have a few other things that you can install into there. It does have a switch, and it plugs into your receiver. I'm going to be doing a few videos on that. I just don't know which RCs I'm going to throw them on. Somebody suggested last video that I did to put them on my Slash 4x4 to have that set up. I think that's something that I want to do. I'm going to probably putting on my Slash 4x4 and a few other RCs that I drive at nighttime that I want to see it. So that's going to be happening in the next day or two. I'm going to be trying to shoot as many videos as I can before Monday. The reason being is that I'm going to be doing paperwork for my work. I have to have all my paperwork in by the time 2018 hits, and then I'll be able to allow myself a lot of time to do more and more videos for you guys, and for you guys to check a few things out. Last but not least, I am setting up a trip to go to Traxxas. Hopefully they welcome me with open arms. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but I'm going to be headed to Texas. I do have a few jobs that I have to do out in Texas, and I will be driving to Traxxas and seeing exactly what the facility is all about. Even if I'm able to take a picture on the outside, I'll probably bring a few RCs and just have my picture taken, you know, with the RCs over there. So that's something pretty cool to be doing in the near future. Also in 2018, what RC would you recommend me bringing overseas? I will be in Europe. I'm going to Italy, I'm going to Spain, and I'm going to France. What RCs would you want me to bring? Now, let's be a little bit normal. I cannot bring an X-Maxx overseas. It's not going to happen. I think the biggest RC I can bring is a 1/10 scale RC. Now, that being... Yeah, I know, Joseph, X-Maxx. Yeah, it's the one RC I can't bring. But I was thinking about bringing either the SCX-10, bringing that over there, or something a little bit smaller, because just the whole logistics of flying out there. And I know I can't bring nickel metal hydrate RCs over there, batteries over there, so it might be it might be something going on with that, you know. So I have to initially look at where I'm at and see if I'm going to invest that type of cash. But I'm definitely going to bring an RC. I'm going to bring a GoPro, and I'm going to take a few pictures. Places I'm planning to go is Rome and a whole bunch of other places that I'm going to be taking pictures out there. RC Eruptions, what's going on? That's my RC. What's going on? Michael says Gravedigger. I'm afraid customs will steal it. That's, you know, there are RCs that I wouldn't even bring there. I mean, here, I'll give you a heads up. What? The mounts that hold the hijack, where can I get them from? From eBay. They sell it on eBay. I think it's like 18 bucks, but they're really cool. Steve McShane, Gio, I heard you say Traxxas may be coming out with a 5th scale slash. Yes. 1/5 scale slash, or their 1/6 scale slash, as they call it. I saw something that I was not supposed to see, so I would say I'm 90% sure there's going to be a bigger slash coming out very, very soon. And also I think they're doing a few new types of bodies for the X-Maxx for 2018, and the aluminum parts are coming out for the 4Tec in 2018. The TRX4 has the Bronco upgrade that they're going to be doing, which is going to give you the body, the links, the raising of the shocks, the 2.4 rims with tires. I think that's it, you know, just to have that set up. I think that upgrade is going to be 300 bucks to have the Bronco kit set up, but I think it would be worth it for 300 bucks. So, where am I at right now? Yeah, I went, yeah, but went 2018 for the TRX. Michael, you mentioned Erevo. Is Traxxas still making that? Well, conceptually, you're looking at a brand that keeps remarketing itself continuously. My best assumption would have been that Traxxas would have released an Erevo before they released an X slash. So I'm still coming across and saying the Erevo will be in flourishing. If they were able, they already got the kinks out of the X-Maxx. A lot of the kinks that were originally there, between the ESC, the type of tire composites that they were utilizing, the type of body that was setting up, a lot of the kinks were cleaned up on the X-Maxx, which would definitely conceptually make it better for them to build a platform that would be considered for the E-Revo. The only difference is if you're looking at the X-Maxx is pretty much set up like a slash, okay, where they have the tube in the center, and also they have the diffs on the front and rear. That is very much predominant slash type of setup. So for them to build the 1/6 or 1/5 scale slash would be something that I wouldn't be surprised them doing before an X-Revo. So let me take this out the way, out of your face for 1 second. And since we were talking about this RC, I might as well just pull it out. Holy shit, I forgot how big you are. There we go. Jesus. There we go. I don't even know if you fit on the screen. There we go. No, you don't fit. You don't fit. All right. Where we are with the Q&As. Where are we with the Q&As? Are you going to do a collaboration with RC Sparks? Well, Aaron from RC Sparks Studios. We'll talk about that. That would be a good discussion to talk about that right now, and the camaraderie me and RC Sparks Studios has had throughout the years. So Aaron from RC Sparks Studios, DJ Medic as he was originally called, primarily his YouTube channel is around more than 1 million subscribers. So I ended up sending him a video of how the algorithm has changed with the YouTube subscription scenario, and how they're paying out their YouTubers, and especially RC Sparks Studios, which is a huge RC channel. They're not getting the views that they usually get, and the algorithm has changed. So primarily, a lot of people came across and are not being informed that his videos are out there. That's why YouTube pushed the notification thing hugely with a lot of their bigger YouTube channels, and a lot of the smaller YouTube channels are feeling the pinch of that. Now, RC Sparks Studios is not only a YouTube channel, but that's his livelihood, which me personally, I've been watching. Now, it's the weirdest thing. I didn't start watching DJ Medic, I think, till 2 years after he was out. And I never, like I said, I started this RC thing 6 years ago. So it was a little bit of time after that when I started watching DJ Medic and familiarizing myself with his channel and the content of his channel. He was under the impression that he's not reaching the audiences that he has right now, and which is kind of bogus, because checking out his channel and seeing a few things that he has done, he's been able to present a lot of new things to the RC community as of late. Now, since the algorithm has changed, he has felt the financial brunt of that. Why? Because the networking of people that have streamed to his channel is not as abundant as it used to be. And it's not that he's losing subscribers, is that the way the algorithm is set up on YouTube, people are not getting his content. I ended up falling into that type of realm where I wasn't getting his content. I continuously check YouTube, but I wasn't getting his notifications and everything like that, or when his new things were coming out, which was kind of bogus. Which hopefully YouTube does correct. I've tried to give him assistance on what the perception of the algorithm has changed for YouTube. Now, don't think for a second that you're looking to get rich off YouTube. When it comes down to, like, especially RCs. Aaron is not rich. RC Sparks Studios is, people have this conception, oh, he has 1 million subscribers, he's making $1 million, a year. That's total BS. Like, realistically speaking, it is BS. There's a lot of things that he's acquired with his YouTube channel. He acquires these things and pumps it back into his channel, which is definitely a cool thing, which I've been checking out through the last couple of years. I see what he financially spends. I mean, don't get me wrong, RC Sparks Studios does get, presentations of things, as in, Traxxas has donated a few things to him, and what RC Spark Studios has done is that he in actuality gave it away, kind of like, you know, scenarios that I do. So I'll always have a special place in my heart for RC Spark Studios. Uh, Main reason is because he's able to showcase a lot of the RCs that are on his channel, and he does a lot of drive videos and everything like that. Which I don't do on my channel, because a lot of times when I'm driving my RCs, I do that for myself. If I do videos and shoot them out there, you know, I mean, I have Everyday RC who has most of my drive videos with my RCs, for people that don't think I drive my RCs around. So, which is a funny thing. But another thing that Aaron from RC Spark Studios has done is that he's incorporated his life with you guys on the YouTube community. We got to see when he was dating Jem. We got to see when Jem and him were married. Or were they married beforehand? Well, we got to see her pregnant. So, so that was a cool thing of that, you know. And then their son Maurice is now, I mean, he's a big kid talking already. So that would be for the future generation of the RC community, of having him interact his family with the RC Spark Studio scenario. I enjoyed the build series that Jem did with an SEX10, for the reason that a lot more girls should be interactive with the RC community. You know, I mean, there are girls that play with their RCs. I know a girl in my neighborhood was like, "Yo, bring me an RC, I'll drive that." You know, so so there are a lot of women that do get into it, but don't showcase that on YouTube, which it should be showcased a little bit more, bringing more women to play with RC cars. It just only benefits, you know, the hobby itself. And where is the hobby right now? You're talking about a hobby where a lot of hobby shops have closed because everything is being purchased over the internet. And I'm guilty, you know, immediately of telling you guys, hey, you know, I bought this, and I bought this from God knows where else, but I still support my local hobby shops. The hobby shops that I go to is, you know, Hobby Heroes, Brooklyn Hobbies in New York. I go to Willis Hobbies in New York, but there's other hobby shops that are out there. You have Bayshore Hobbies, which gets a lot of product in ASAP. You have Long Island Hobby, you have Extreme Hobbies, and then you have whatever local hobby shop is near you. So always support your hobbies, your hobby shops. But that being said, is the RC community dying out, and is it as big as it used to be? There are different variations of what the hobby is. I mean, you're looking at, you know, a hobbyist like me, which I take it from different angles. You know, I'm in the boat, I'm doing drag cars, I'm doing speed runs, I'm doing customizations, which I have different aspects. You know, I do mini Z racing and stuff. People primarily do speed runs, do drag racings, have different aspects of how they handle their channel. You know, so there are different type of aspects on how they're doing the hobby right now. Is it changing? It definitely is. There are a lot more companies out there that are being very competitive with companies like Traxxas, HPI, and Axial, which are, you know, one of the top big run companies out there. I mean, you do have other companies that are out there like, you know, Kyosho, Tamiya, you know, Vita, if Vita is still around, you know, but you still have other companies that are out there, but they're investing more and more into their RCs. So it's becoming a little bit more widespread on the type of RCs that you want to acquire. The main reason why I enjoy buying Traxxas vehicles, just the assortment. The assortment of parts, the assortment of support that you're able to get from Traxxas. A lot of people thought I was sponsored by Traxxas. I would love to be sponsored by Traxxas. But the problem is that I already have all their vehicles. Other than the nitro cars, I have all their vehicles. I don't think there's one RC that I don't have, you know, on the electric side, other than the quadcopter and the quadcopter. I think that's it. Yeah, yeah. So, do you have gas? I have not one gas vehicle. The only reason why I never got gas vehicles is because the old lady was like, look, I don't want to smell fumes. So I ended up having to go electric. And electric right now is better than it was, you know, almost a decade ago. So, So what's going on with the Q&A? Laughing out loud. Michael, I'm a huge Traxxas lover. Traxxas is awesome. I mean, they have conceptually run the gambit on which RCs you can play with. I mean, their quadcopter is crazy. Um, they have a Bandit, which the Bandit doesn't really do too well in sales, but it's definitely a cool RC, beginner RC for a lot of people. Upgrading the Bandit is fun. The Rustler, I think people like myself, Draven 3907 and Mr. MRT Mustang 1 has totally changed the landscape of what the Rustler should look like and what the Rustler can do. So that was definitely a game changer on there. I mean, you have the Stampede 4x4. I mean, you have a guy named Jess. He changed the landscape of what a Stampede 4x4 should, how fast it should go. And then you have another YouTuber, which I have to say I enjoyed watching his channel, and this is Ultimate RC with Jang, and he did something with the Stampede 4x4 where he changed it up to a backslash and a crawler and a whole bunch of other things. So those are a few of the channels that I've enjoyed to watch, which kind of sucks that I don't even see Ultimate RC anymore. Where are we at? Yes, electric has come a long ways. People are throwing 12-cell systems into their things. I mean, look at the helicopter industry. The helicopter industry died. Helicopter industry died so hard when the quadcopter came out. It's not even funny on how the helicopter hobby has pretty much plummeted down. From when the first helicopters are out and people doing tricks. Now you can hit a button and hit a trick off a quad. So the helicopter companies have done a lot of. They ended up getting beat up tremendously with that. Nitro has gotten beat up because of the way the electric cars are running right nowadays, between brush and brushless, between not having to deal with a whole bunch of other things that happen when you are running nitro. But the gas vehicles are still doing very well. You have the 1/8 scale low C, which didn't do as well as predicted, but you have the 1/10 scale low C and 1/5 scale low C, 1/5 scale HPI. Even Red Cat. Those gasoline vehicles are doing very, very, very well in the market. When you're looking to do that. Now, if Traxxas comes out with an X/, that would be first thing I'm gonna buy. If not, I still have my eyes on my first low C, which will be my low C 5T. That's the first thing I'm gonna get. Now, here's a question. Another question that people have asked me: why don't I show my face on my YouTube channel? People break my chops about that all the time. I must have told the story a few times, and I'll tell you the story again. So the reason why I don't show my face on YouTube is because of the type of industry that I work in. Primarily, the YouTube community is very, very, very small, and I'm going to tell you how small it is. I ended up going to Texas one day, and I started speaking with a colleague of mine. Anyway, all of a sudden, now mind you, he had no idea I was into RCs. He had no idea. All of a sudden, we're chit-chatting. This is going back, I think last year or something like that. We're chit-chatting. He goes, "You know what? Not for nothing." He was like, "Your voice," and I'm like, "What?" He was like, "I've heard your voice beforehand." I was like, well, whatever. Fast forward, we ended up having dinner. Him and like 5 or 6 other colleagues of mine, and then all of a sudden, 2 of them were talking about speed runs and doing speed runs with their Kyosho GP2E VE whatever, and they were talking about speed runs and GRP tires and this a whole bunch of other things, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just nodding my head. I'm like, "Oh yeah, get out." And then they're showing me the videos of how fast they're going. I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome, that's amazing." And the weirdest thing is that one of them actuality came across, and when I left was like, "Yo, be straight up." And I'm like, "What?" He was like, "You're Geo." And I'm like, "What?" So one of them figured out who I was, Geo Stealth R1, on YouTube and stuff like that. He was like, "Yo, I heard your voice and I heard you," and then we were talking about RCs. You know, that's the way. And he told me, he was like, that's why he brought it up, because he wants to hear if I had any input on that. And I'm like, and then when he found out, you know, he started talking to me for like 2 hours on how he should set up his Rustler. So, you know, I try to keep the business side of it separate from the RC side of it. I mean, I had people on the channel tell me either A, I was supported by Traxxas, B, I got an inheritance, C, because I did the NYPD truck, that I'm a cop, you know. So, so I've heard a lot of things throughout the years, you know, but I just try to keep it separately. If you ever come to a bash event that I'm at, you know, you'll definitely find out who I am. If you ever come to the hobby shops, you know, you'll definitely know who I am and stuff like that. But I 9 times out of 10, I'll keep that off of the radar on that type of scenario. I don't even have Facebook, just to give you guys a heads up out there. I have Instagram, GeoStealthR1, Twitter, GeoStealthR1, Google Plus, GeoStealthR1, and also I do have a GeoStealthR1 Facebook, but I think I never did anything with it, so that's primarily the way it goes. Alright, let's see where we're at. Alright, so we're at minute 80, so we're about to come up to more than an hour and change. Let me see, hour and 20. So yeah, so if there's any other questions that you guys want to know about what I'm going to be doing in the future, or what future upgrades you would like for me to do, give me your suggestions, you know, of what would you like for me to do on a video next time, because I know a lot of people don't stay watching 80 minutes of when they're getting into their meat and potatoes of what they want to do with their RCs. So yeah, give me a heads up what you want me to talk about, and then I'll try to do an update video as soon as possible. I'm probably going to do a video very soon of the TRX4 tactical unit. It's still sealed, but hopefully either A, I'm going to keep it, or B, I might trade it. I'm not too sure. We'll see. That's why it's still in the box. So if that's all your questions, yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this segment. I liked chit-chatting with you guys, for you guys to are you going to do the giveaway tonight, right? Yes, I was planning to do it on the hot. Well, here's the problem. Since I ended up watching Star Wars and it's snowing out in Long Island, I was supposed to go to Hobby Heroes and pick up other prizes that I'm supposed to give out. And I didn't go to the hobby shop because it is snowing. Now you're gonna tell me, oh, you have a big ass truck, how come you didn't go there? Because my hobby shop is 68 miles away from my house. So every single time you hear me going to my hobby shop, it's either A, I'm coming back from work, crossing through there either from Connecticut or up in New York, and then I'll stop off at my hobby shop, so I'm nowhere near there. And there are things that I'm going to be giving away once I do the giveaway. Or I might as well just do the giveaway tonight and just give away the X-Maxx and give away a whole bunch of other things. As of right now, it's still right here, waiting to be owned by somebody else. And here is the controller, which is over here, which I always think this is an amazing thing, the way you're able to make it a righty or a lefty, which I think this is a pretty cool concept on there. I'm kind of surprised that, you know, like a company like Traxxas didn't do something like that, or maybe there was problems doing that. And where is the box? Ah, the box is right here. Hold on. And this is the box. There you go. That's the box and everything that's on there. It's going to be packaged right back in there with all the goodies, whatever tools that it came with, and all this other stuff. You know, I am going to most likely throw a decal on there. Maybe this decal. This is probably my last one. Maybe something like this. Who knows? I might put that in there as well to the winner. And have that set up, you know? So where are we at? Yeah, I like that transmitter too. Yeah, no, the transmitter's pretty awesome. I mean, it feels toyish. I mean, it's very light. Very, very light. Here's the internal parts of this, if you guys can see that. But the transmitter itself is pretty cool. From Remo Hobbies, smart control system. And it does take 4 batteries instead of the godforsaken 8 that I've seen controllers have. you know, throughout the years. So package you back up. Yeah, I gotta pack that thing up because somebody has to get that. Somebody gonna have to get that very soon, and hopefully when you guys win it, you guys be able to show me a video. It'd be cool for me to upload that on my channel and see what's going on with it. So hopefully you guys enjoy the segment. What I'm showing, just more communication about what's going on my channel. I am going to be changing the platform in 2018, where it's going to be probably one teleconference of stuff that's happening in the channel a week, and then I'm gonna go back to my old ways of just shooting out videos of updates and upgrades. So because there's a lot of things that get changed out, you know, once you try to do a live presentation of one thing and then you end up doing something else. Because I ended up doing a live presentation of the Mini Zs yesterday, of an unboxing, and I totally steered away from what was the initial productivity of that, of showing an unboxing of Mini Zs, and we ended up going on a different tangent. And also I was going to talk about the 4Tec today, but we ended up going on a different tangent on some other RCs and stuff like that. So we are going to be changing the format a little bit, but hopefully the communication of one-on-one type setups does help you out, you know, of what you're going to do with your RCs and stuff like that. I'll always be honest and give you what works, what doesn't, you know, what's cost effective to you and what's not, what you break easy and what you don't. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that I've broken and I say, oh, go get that. Oh, don't go get that, you know. So these are the things that you have to look into and stuff like that. And I'll always be honest on my channel of primarily anything RC related. So that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this segment. Definitely give me a thumbs up. That does help out my channel. If people you know that are in the RC game, tell them, yo, check out GeoStealthR1 on yahoo.com. GeoStealthR1 on YouTube, GeoStealthR1 on Instagram, GeoStealthR1 in Twitter, GeoStealthR1 in Google Plus, and wherever your local outlets are going to be at. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoy the channel. Rate, comment, subscribe, and also support your other YouTubers out there. And if you ever have anything anything you'd like to show me that you would find interesting, definitely hit me up with a link. I'll definitely like to see your videos. Anyway, rate, comment, subscribe. Thank everybody for staying out here. Until my fellas up in YouTube. Later.